Hello and welcome to Super Nintendo Classics. In this installment, it is the launch title F-Zero. F-Zero has always been one of my favorite games for the Super Nintendo, and I did an extended review back when I first started my YouTube channel. You can click the annotation to go check that out. Please go check that out because I remember I spent a lot of time on that video. Anyway, F-Zero is this amazing futuristic racing game that really showcased what the Super Nintendo could do in the early days of when it was brand new on the market. There had never been a racing game like this before. A lot of, pseudo 3D racing games had come up before it, such as Rad Racer and like. But this is a game that really took it to the next level by giving, the players this futuristic racing game that really looked fast, looked, fun, and it was something that you couldn't find in arcades either. This was a game that was built exclusively for the Super Nintendo hardware. Alright, so let's play some of this. So, in the original F-Zero you have 4 cars, although I find that they're all pretty much useless except for the Fire Stingray. The Fire Stingray has the best acceleration, or has the worst acceleration, but has the best max speed, and it's also the heaviest car, so, it doesn't get destroyed by running into guardrails and things. It also controls much better, so I'm just going to use this, and we're going to do the Night League, and I'll put it on beginner, just to show you guys the beginning of the game. So F-Zero is a racing game where your simple goal is to, come in first place. It's very smooth. This is the type of game that, really will really appeal to people who love speed. It uses the Mode 7 sprite scaling capabilities of the Super Nintendo. It doesn't actually use any expansion hardware chips or anything like that. F-Zero is a bit unusual in that it's a racing game where you complete 5 laps per race instead of the usual 3, which is, pretty common in most racing games nowadays. The other major Super Nintendo racing game, Super Mario Kart, also uses the 5-lap thing, so I guess that gets it from F-Zero. Every time you complete a lap, you gain a lightning bolt, or as I like to always call it, an S, because it looks like an S. You can see the little icon in the bottom right corner of the screen. These are little speed boosts that can be used once per lap, or, well, they don't have to be used once per lap, you get one per lap, I should say. When you use one, temporarily your maximum speed gets increased by quite a bit, and once coming out of it, your maximum speed will stay at your maximum speed. So that means that if you suddenly lose a lot of acceleration, you can use one of those things to regain your acceleration very quickly. Every car has one, and the duration of them depends on which car you're going with. The Fire Stingray doesn't have that great of a speed boost, but, considering all of its other attributes, the Fire Stingray really is the best car in the game. It's a good idea to use them, against the rough patches here, so you don't have to slow down. One thing that I've always noted about F-Zero is the music. F-Zero has some of the best music on the Super Nintendo, bar none. Who doesn't like the Big Blue theme? I mean, seriously. Although F-Zero controls fairly simplistically by simply using the B button as the accelerator and the A button as your, or the Y button as your brake, and the A button is your boost, and the X button doesn't do anything. The two shoulder buttons really come in really handy in this type of game, and it shows that this kind of thing wouldn't be possible, you know, even if there was an F-Zero game on like the Famicom or, you know, the Genesis or something like that. This is the game that really uses the shoulder triggers, and you know, subsequent F-Zero games have just expanded upon that. You use them to do, you know, sharp turns, and that helps you, you know, stay in your place that you want. You also have this power meter. The power meter basically is like your meter that's, I don't know, it's like a health bar that was included in F-Zero, because if your health bar depletes, your car will explode and you'll lose the race. Again, this would be expanded on in later F-Zero installments, with the health meter being tied into a boost meter, in that whenever time that you used a boost, it would drain some health. And then it was this sort of balance between, you know, if you want to boost a lot or if you want to, you know, maintain your health. You should definitely check out my video review, my two-part video review that I did back in the day, because I'll explain it better in that video, but F-Zero has an interesting history where developments first started on the original Famicom in 1988. This was a game, you know, to originally be, you know, the successor to F1 Race, and be a real contender for like a Nintendo first-party racing game, because there wasn't really a high-profile racing game made by Nintendo that was first-party on the Famicom. And eventually, the development scaled back to, you know, putting this on the new experimental Super Famicom hardware, and they really wanted to populate the racetrack with 30 cars. Although, for the final version of F-Zero, only 4 cars were really designed, and a 5th car sort of was used as a filler car for all of the additional cars to populate the racetrack. This is why, when you play the original F-Zero, you might encounter additional cars beyond the additional 4 that you normally would expect. These cars are just the cars that you're lapping, or essentially, they're just like there on the racetrack. F-Zero has unique themes for every race, and that really makes them, you know, sort of memorable and unique. I think that they're better designed than the Super Mario Kart tracks. Super Mario Kart tracks are all, you know, based upon the Super Mario world, using the Super Mario universe characters and designs. But F-Zero sort of varies things up by giving you like this futuristic sci-fi race worlds, where like you're gonna race around a world that's covered by almost completely by water, or this world that's almost completely covered by sand. You know, stuff like that really makes it stand out and be unique. Again, this will be expanded on in later F-Zero games. F-Zero is not a particularly newbie-friendly game. This is, you know, a game that requires some gamer skill to play. And as such, some people might not like it, especially not when they first pick it up. But if you don't like F-Zero, I'd say, you know, persevere and give it a shot, because this game really has a lot to offer and it's really cool. So yeah, like right there, those are filler cars. Well, anyway, that'll about do it for this video, so thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and once again, I appreciate any questions or comments people have, you know, and let me know what Super Nintendo games you want me to cover in the future. See you next time.